off with RevSportz. I'm Gargi Raut, and joining me today for this conversation are Ishan Shahane, Boria Mujumdar, and Debashish Sen. Good morning to you guys. How are you all feeling right now?
Very good. Winter in Calcutta setting in. Ishan proving how brave he is. He doesn't need anything and taking inspiration from Ishan. Senior man.
Absolutely.
He said, why should I be left behind?
But it's a great start to the day. Just like Indian women's cricket team has had a great start with the England test, one-off test match, and then now with the Australian side as well. We're looking at yesterday, India batting throughout the day and then getting almost close to 150 run lead. How do you feel about this?
It's very good. I mean, if you see the way India batted 100 for 1 at the start of the day and thereafter, that partnership carried on for some time. I thought Sneha Rana could have been a tad more aggressive, could have allowed Smriti Mandhana to settle down a bit. That didn't happen, and after that, Smriti run out was critical. Having said that, that's when Richa Ghosh, who was promoted ahead of Jemima Rodrigues, and Jemima Rodrigues took control. 50 and 70 respectively, India gained control before Ashley Gardner came back with those 3 wickets, Harmanpreet Kaur getting a duck. But the lower order partnership, the one between Deepti Sharma and Pooja Vastrakar, Ishan, I think has given India the game.
Absolutely.
150 odd lead with that bowling attack. India will now fancy all chances to make it 2 in a row, England and now Australia.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, fantastic performance all around. And again, Jemima Rodrigues, there's so much that's been spoken about her, that she's a prodigy, that she's one for the future. And she's proving it. Even against England in the second innings, she did really well. So obviously now as well, she got those 70 odd runs, which were really, really important. And again, those lower end partnerships really, really help. So I think it's about holding your innings together, and that's what the Indian team has done. I mean, the openers will give you a start, the middle order might contribute, but at the end of it, even the tail end has to really, chip in and get some runs as well. It's holding the innings, which they've done really well.
The only thing is, the captain, because even the last match, the way she got run out, and this match she was out for 0, you would want Harmanpreet Kaur to sort of get in the game. Because if she had a telling contribution, even 30-40, a 200 plus lead, match done. I mean, however good Australia is, to come back from a 200 deficit is going to be humongous. So that's where my only thing is, I would want Harmanpreet Kaur to make a more telling contribution.
Talking about Harmanpreet Kaur, she's had those 2 infamous runouts now, Does this show a bit of, slacking off from her side?
No, I mean, Joydeep Da explained that how freakish the 2 runouts were. You would want her to be consistent. If I say that no, I'm pretty happy. That won't be right, because Harmanpreet Kaur has been inconsistent, and that is the truth. So you would want your captain to actually lead from the front and make a more telling contribution. Now she doesn't bowl. So if she doesn't really make a contribution with the bat, then it gets difficult. And look, these 2 test matches you've actually done very well without your captain really performing. So that's something that tells a story that the team is coming around. But as I said, Harmanpreet Kaur, pedigree, you would want her to make a far more important contribution.
Debashish, a lead of close to 150, is that enough against a team like Australia?
You never know, in any test matches, if you have a 150 runs lead, it's a good, healthy day. But in cricket, strange things happens. But having said that, obviously, the key for India will be to the spinners, especially in the second innings. So I think they're and when you consider India winning a test match against England, and if they can top it up with a test win against Australia, that will be the biggest success story. Means obviously they don't get an opportunity to play enough test matches, regular test matches, and now when you get an opportunity and you transform that into match winning performances, a win against England, and if you can make it 2 in a row, England and Australia, obviously then people will start talking more about women's cricket.
See, if you think of the start of the year, WPL, and you finish the year with a win against England and a possible win against Australia, it will be the best year for women's cricket, right? And then gain momentum. 2024, you have the World Cup, who knows? Win a World Cup from here on, and all of a sudden the game is on a roll. Then this whole home and away, pushing the BCC, you won't need to do that. This is not charity. You earn it. And then these girls would have earned it, and that's what all of us fans of women's cricket, we want to see.
On a lighter note, I would say India needs to play more Test cricket.
Yeah.
He actually said
That
this to
is-
me today.
That is where we are doing well.
He said-
rather than playing Australia or England in a T20 format or a white ball format, we need
Yes,
to play
yes.
more Test cricket.
So reverse it. He basically said don't play T20 and
Yeah.
ODIs. Go play Test cricket. BCCI dominant. No
Yeah.
other games. Come to India, play Test cricket.
Absolutely, but continuing on that point that Debashi said, if you play well, you're going to be a crowd puller, but that doesn't seem to be the case. When we look at these two test matches that we've had against England, against Mumbai, Australia, in Mumbai, we've seen that
Crowds.
the crowds are not there, but even with
I think I
free
can-
seating,
yeah.
even with free
You were
seating,
there.
I'll
talk
add to
about
that.
it.
So I think Gagi, you and me had a conversation, right after the England match as well, where we saw on the first day, second day, the crowds weren't just there, and by the end of it, there was a crowd build-up that we were seeing, and I think that's just because of the way the team is performing. So I think it's very important to mention that if the team continues to perform better, you will expect a crowd build-up. But hey, this won't happen overnight. It will require consistent performances. More victories against England, more victories against teams like Australia.
Okay,
and yeah,
Let me take it from there.
yeah.
2011, if I remember right from memory, 82 people watched India versus West Indies in Calcutta. First day. 82 men's test match. So it's not as if this is an aberration.
Yes.
It's not. Secondly, why are you holding every game in Mumbai? Take it around.
Spot on.
True.
Take it around.
Yes.
You've held the had the England series Mumbai, WPL Mumbai, Australia Mumbai. Why? Take it to Calcutta. Take it to Chennai.
Yeah.
You mean Bangalore? You mean to say other parts of the country there are no supporters? Who said so? Have you tried it? Try it. I can tell you this. Again, the England Test match happened after that series loss. Win. Let them win one ICC tournament and then see what happened. And I come to the Mithali Raj team. 7 journalists at the airport when the team left 2017. Came back 2 a.m. in the morning, 200 journalists at the airport. No one asked them. They were forced to go after what the team did.
Yes.
That's what it is. Don't cry saying come. It's a consumer market. If Ishan gives me bigger value than you or Debashish, I will go with him. It's like it's a consumer market.
Fair game.
So win, make a statement, people will come and support you. It's as simple as that.
Because it's not just the crowd that they have to convince, they also have to convince the ICC chief, Greg Barclay, because India is already playing the least amount of test matches among the 4 teams that are
Correct.
playing. Plus, going forward in the next FTP, Greg Barclay has clearly said that there's going to be next to 0 test matches for women's cricket.
Yeah, but that's where the BCCI should come in, because the BCCI is dominant in the ICC. You control the purse. You mean to say if today Jai Shah, who is arguably the most powerful man in world cricket at the moment, makes a telling point to the ICC, we need more test matches, he won't get it? Of course he will. Now he's empowered. If India wins this one, and he's got 2 to show, he should just go and say, we won 2 in 2, we've beaten the top 2, give us more test matches. And look, it's about numbers. Win the numbers in the ICC boardroom and the decision is yours. It's not Greg Barclay's whims or fancies that will rule the day. It'll be numbers. It's a democratic
Exactly.
boardroom.
Exactly.
And I would just add to that Harmanpreet question, obviously, she not getting runs, means when you look at the Indian men's team, you see Rohit Sharma, means his test average is perhaps the best test batsman, considering Virat Kohli. So if your captain needs to fire.
Yeah.
A captain looks as good when the team does well. That is what is happening with the Indian women's team. It's the other players who are performing and obviously with due respect to the cricketer Harmanpreet, she needs to fire now.
Absolutely. Lead by
I
example.
completely agree with this point because even if you saw in the World Cup, the men's ODI World Cup, Rohit Sharma was leading in the front. He set the tone, and after that, the rest of the team carried on, and they managed winning 10 out of 10. So obviously the captain has to fire first, and then after that, the others can take inspiration from that, which Harman, she has to probably, seek to do.
Absolutely, and before we go to Joydeep, who's joining us from Mumbai, we have to talk about the middle partnership in the middle of the order. Richa Ghosh with 52 runs off of 104 balls, and then Jemima Rodriguez 73. Would you have expected more out of Richa?
No, because it's a debut game, and to see her, come up the order. One of our colleagues, Trisha, who closely watches women's cricket, actually tweeted saying, "Is this a fair call?" So Richa Ghosh did really well. So 53, really good innings on debut against Australia under pressure. Yes, some loose balls from Ashley Gardner on offer, but Having said that, Jemima Rodriguez, very, very impressive. Very, very, very impressive. And if you actually, and you know, the point is you've got to give credit to the coach.
Yeah.
So Amol Mazumdar must have taken that call, pushed her up, put her in the thing, and especially when India had lost those 3 wickets. So, good call.
You know, and talking about players like Richa Ghosh, she is very aggressive, and Amol Muzumdar has come in and now set the tone that they want to play fearless cricket. They want to play an aggressive brand of cricket. Talk about
You know what,
Richa.
they actually are, because I was there in the first test as well. While the English were
400 runs.
struggling, while the English were struggling to get some runs on the board, the run rate was really low.
Yeah.
The Indians on the other hand were out there playing their shots, playing the national game. So obviously you could see that they're playing a fearless brand of cricket, and that's what you need to, and that's what you need to promote more. I think you want to show the audience that we're here to play, we're here to play our national game, and we're here to give our best shot. Whether there's a crowd or not, we're going to just play to our potential, and the crowd will come. So I think that's what has been done really well, and I think it's going to get better with time.
Absolutely. And now we'll go to Joydeep Mukherjee, who's joining us from Mumbai.
And Joydeep Mukherjee on behalf of RevSportz in front of the Wankhede Stadium on a cool and crisp December morning. This is beautiful out here, and we're all set for day 3 of this women's test match between India and Australia. India in a very strong position, no doubt about it, but don't put it against this Australian team. They know how to come back. They've done it in the Ashes against England when they had conceded the lead, and then they came back and won the game. So what does India have to do now? Yeah, bat as long as they can, because time is not an issue. We've got whole of today, whole of tomorrow. We're just about halfway done. So time is not a factor. The second thing that India will keep in mind is that this is not a wicket which is unplayable. Yes, there is some help for the spinners. You need to have that skill set to be able to play this sort of spin bowling on a pitch like this. 2 balls have kept low, the 2 skippers. The one that Healy got out and the one Harman got out. We're talking a lot about the low bounce or the variable bounce. Maybe the odd ball. Also for the spinners, the Aussie spinners bowl a lot quicker. So they get less perches out of the wicket, less revolutions on the ball before it hits the ground. Pure science. As far as the Indian spinners are concerned, they have the ability to bowl it a lot slower in the air. Once you bowl slower, more revolutions, more on the ball, and more happening after it hits the ground. So having said all that, I think today, from Australia's point of view, they'll try and pick up the wickets, obviously, if not keep things quiet for a while. Ashley Gardner was superb. If they had another Ashley Gardner from the other end, I think India would have been in deep trouble. There was no help from her from the other end whatsoever. Alana King, very good, but we'll still need to get accurate at this level. As far as India is concerned, what they will try and do is bat as long as they can. I mean, even if you bat till lunch, then you can think about declaration. Don't even think about declaration now. Bat Australia out of this game. You will not get this team in this sort of a tight corner too often in your life. When you do, you make sure you make it pay. And this is one such occasion. Very good position for India to be in, but I still feel there's a fight out there. If Australia come, dig deep, and don't lose wickets to fast bowlers, the Indian fast bowlers, then the 10 spinners have to get 10 wickets will have to be get by the Indian spinners, and that might be a hard task, depend on the application. And the Indian batters have showed the Australian batters how to bat on this wicket. A lot of these players, Ellis Perrys and the experienced ones, they will learn from that and they will dig deep. It's after all Australia. All in all, an intriguing day's cricket awaits us. Which way is going to go? Day 3 will decide that.
On Amol Muzumdar's coaching, he's been brought in after 1+ year of there not being a single head coach in the team, constantly cycling around these temporary head coaches. How does it change the dynamic of the team? Because Harmanpreet now is really set on listening to what Amol Muzumdar has to say, comparing it to the Bangladesh series where Smriti Mandhana had come out in the press conference and said that we don't need a head coach, everything is going fine as it is.
I don't think that was the right statement to make. Having said that, Amol Muzumdar, 2 things. 1, pedigree. Has played cricket for the longest time. Serious talent, pedigree, may not have played for India, but quality. Number 2, he has also been around this team. It's not as if he's been brought from somewhere and imposed. So it's not as if Amol Muzumdar takes time to warm up. The warm-up had happened. Yeah. So the point that you said, the period without a head coach, Amol Muzumdar was deputizing as the head coach.
Yeah.
So Amol Muzumdar knows what he's up against. He knows these girls. He knows what he is doing. And of course, he's followed. That's why Shubha Satish coming in at 3, his call. I'm sure Richa Ghosh up the order, his call. So some of the decisions that we have seen, Amol owns the decisions. Good to see.
Devashish?
Yeah,
your inputs
absolutely
on
fair
Amol?
call, fair call. And obviously, and you need to give the players need to express. Means the modern day cricket obviously calls for means you need to play the fearless, as you have rightly said, the fearless brand of cricket, and that is what these women cricketers have been doing. Means in recent times, if you look at their performance, they have just gone out. That is what you want. Means the young cricketers like Richa Ghosh and other cricketers, they need to go out there and express, and that is then, and it reflects to the performance. Means then only we'll start winning more matches.
Absolutely. Moving on to the world of football and especially domestic football, RevSportz' very own initiative, Pada Football, which is neighborhood, local community football, and we've seen some absolute bangers of matches. Talk about that.
Yeah, and today's the final.
Yeah?
It's the finals day. I mean, we have the women's final and the men's final. All of us, by the way, there's a RevSportz team as well. Gargi is playing, Ishan's playing, Devashish is playing, I'm coaching, thankfully. so that's the best part. And Shopnil behind the camera is jumping up and about because he knows if I am on goal, several goals will be considered. So that's why he's jumping, and Trisha has been, volunteered to be my deputy there. So she's assistant coach. I've taken Trisha out of goal. Anyway, coming back, great initiative. The kind of intensity and the passion that we've seen from the teams on display, 48 teams, 24 men, 24 women across Bengal, one whole month, teams from Jharkhand, teams from Odisha, fantastic. We were there for the women's semi-final just the day before all of us, and the kind of intensity, wow, some really good goals, some fantastic talent. There was this girl wearing jersey number 3, Khatun, absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, she scored with one free kick, which will perhaps make every Indian player proud. That's the whole idea, Gargi, to generate talent, to see young people play, physicality, physical literacy, all of these things, and more importantly, prize money equal. All prize money. First, runners-up, second, player of the tournament, men, women, player of the final, man, woman, everything the same.
Even
Goal scorer, best goals, best goalkeeper, both sides. So that's a conscious plan from RevSportz.
Absolutely, and I'd like to add to that, from what I've been seeing, yesterday especially, when we look back to the semi-final, there was this one goalkeeper who was very aggressive, very into the game, and she got sandwiched between the goal post and one other player who had dived at that point, and she was in excruciating pain. 5 minutes later, there's the medic, everything. She's got up and she's playing like nothing's happened. So this is the passion, This is something that's not televised. That's something that's not really out there. But when you have initiatives like this, you get to see all this, madness, football madness. Especially, you don't expect a women's football match to have that kind of crowd that we had at the semi-final. I think that's incredible.
Absolutely, and I'll say 2 things here. One, when you run, or when he runs or goes to the gym, any one of us, you applaud yourself.
Yes.
When we watch something on telly, it's spectator sport. But here, these girls are celebrating themselves. When he runs or you run or you are in a gym, you celebrate yourself. That's the difference. It's not televised sport. It's you celebrating your own body, feeling good about doing so. The woman who stood up and played must have felt good about it when she went home. Must have been in pain, but she would have crossed that pain threshold. And that must have given her a lot of satisfaction. And to us, all of us watching, to be able to put this together gives us immense joy. You know why? Because some of these girls, even if one goes on and plays for a club, gets a livelihood, gets her family up, we as organizers, as a company that wants to create legacy in sport, would have done that. By the way, yesterday people were trolling Shubhan for making a mistake. We owe up to that mistake. Mistakes happen, that's fine. But the bigger picture is, we are trying to contribute to sport. That's what it is. We'll keep making mistakes, by the way. Don't worry about it. But our effort will continue.
Absolutely, and we'll also keep celebrating the women's football initiative that we started. Devashish, you also, your thoughts
having been part of this para football concept, last year we saw the excitement. Means obviously plenty of fans coming and watching, cheering, and talking about the women footballers. Means they get even 5 years down the line, they wouldn't have hoped, or they wouldn't have got an opportunity to play in front of our comments. Actually, they are getting an opportunity to showcase their talent.
And it's
Means
being live
that
streamed.
is-
It was his
Yes.
idea.
and that is where the real success is. Means we are bringing out of their homes and making them play which they love, which they are passionate about, and that is the real success of this para football carnival. Means obviously it's not means जैसे बोलता है ना घर मीन्स लड़कियों तो वो खाना पकाता ही है रसोई में मत मीन्स एक्चुअली यहाँ पे बहुत सारे ऐसे हैं जो who are passionate about football. Means
And basically, देखो वो जो कह रहा है ना, he's actually talking about suburban Bengal.
Yes.
It's not as if the urban society needs it. No, but some of these girls, they've come from real tribal belts.
Yes,
When we celebrate the rugby girls, the mother will eat last. It's still there in India. There one roti you have to think, if I eat one more roti, my mother will not be able to eat one more roti. They come from such backgrounds to be able to celebrate. Yes, last year when we gave the money, and one of these girls said, so equal price money. We said, yeah, why? And she started howling. And we're like, why are you crying?
Yeah.
She said, kabhi kisi ne samman nahi diya hai. So these are things that stay with you.
Absolutely. I think that's a wonderful conversation we've had there. We will leave you all with Shubhayan, who's joining us from South Africa with all the news updates.
Thank you guys, and a very good morning here from Centurion. Everyone is getting up and looking forward to the Boxing Day test between India and South Africa, and there are a lot of updates from the Indian camp when it comes to the test series and of course other players as well. I will give it one by one. So number one question which everyone is asking right now is when is Virat Kohli returning and joining the team back? We gave a little update via video yesterday where we said that Virat Kohli is going to return on December 24 and link up with the team here in Centurion before the Boxing Day test. So December 24 is the day when Virat Kohli will be linking up with the team. Again, he went back due to a family emergencies as everyone is reporting, but Virat will be back in time for the Boxing Day test, and we all can expect the King Kohli to feature in the test series and hopefully guide India to another memorable victory. Last time India played here in Centurion in the 21-22 series, they started the series with a win in Centurion, but after that it all went downhill. But yes, all eyes will be on Virat Kohli when he returns to Centurion, and hopefully we will show you the glimpses of Virat Kohli reaching Centurion if we catch him at the airport or somewhere nearby the stadium. So we will try that. The second update is about Ruturaj Gaikwad. He suffered a finger injury during the second ODI against South Africa, which forced him to miss the last and the final ODI against South Africa. India won the series, and it was a good victory after what happened in the previous ODI series. Again, KL Rahul was the captain there, but unfortunately Ruturaj Gaikwad suffered a finger injury, which has now forced him to miss out from the test series. He is not going to be part of the test series. There is no official announcement as of now, but hopefully we will get it very soon from the BCCI. And who comes in as a replacement? There were a few options in the camp when it comes to Ruturaj Gaikwad's replacement, but since Ruturaj was mainly a reserve opener for the test series, the Indian team management has decided to bring in Abhimanyu Ishwaran, the Bengal batsman, former captain of Bengal team, into the mix for this test series. He has been asked to stay back in South Africa, and so he will be part of the test series as the reserve opener. It remains to be seen whether he gets a game. It is unlikely that Abhimanyu Ishwaran will get a game. So was the case with Ruturaj Gaikwad. He was not supposed to play any of the test match unless there was some injury, but unfortunate for Ruturaj to miss out from this iconic test series against South Africa. So Abhimanyu Ishwaran, who has been in prolific touch in the last few years for Bengal. This season also he has played some crucial knocks for Bengal in white ball circuit. The Ranji season is yet to come, but Abhimanyu Ishwaran has been in good touch, and even in the intra squad match he scored an unbeaten half century, after which he was asked to come back to the dugout by the Indian team management so as to give others a chance as well. So Abhimanyu Ishwaran is the replacement for Ruturaj Gaikwad in the test series. And another update which is relating to Surya Kumar Yadav. Surya, as we know, that he's not part of this Test series versus South Africa, but he will be a crucial player going forward to the India for the Indian team in terms of the T20 cricket. In 2024, there's a T20 World Cup, so everyone will want the number one T20I batter Surya Kumar Yadav to be in a red hot form. He was excellent in the T20 series against South Africa as well. Scored some breathtaking shots as he always does in the shortest format of the game. But unfortunately, while fielding, he suffered an ankle injury, which has the reports for this of the scans have now come out. So Surya Kumar Yadav has suffered a grade 2 tear on his ankle. So in all probability, he is going to miss the Afghanistan series, which is going to be the last bilateral series for the Indian team before the T20 World Cup in the USA and the West Indies. So no Surya Kumar Yadav in that Afghanistan series. So that comes as a huge blow. Grade 2 ankle tear means it should be around 2 months, 2.5 months for Surya Kumar Yadav on the sidelines, and he will have to again go through the recovery process, the rehabilitation process. So we are going to see Surya Kumar Yadav straight in the IPL, which again is going to be a crucial tournament in terms of preparing for the shortest format of the game ahead of the T20 World Cup. But no Surya Kumar Yadav in the Afghanistan series. Grade 2 ankle tear. It doesn't look good right now, but he will have to grind through. And mind you, Afghanistan series will be a very crucial series, not because it is the last bilateral series for the Indian team before the T20 World Cup, but in terms of team selection as well. All eyes will be on Rohit Sharma, whether he is retained as the captain of the Indian cricket team in the shortest format of the game. What happens to Virat Kohli in the shortest format of the game, whether Hardik Pandya will return into the mix as a fully fit player for the Afghanistan series. Lot to watch out for in the Afghanistan series, and I'm pretty sure it is going to make a lot of headlines. It is going to make a lot of buzz on social media as well. So Afghanistan series is a crucial one, but no Surya Kumar Yadav in that series. So these were the few updates. Today is a travel day for the Indian team. They will be leaving Pretoria and coming to Johannesburg or Centurion. We don't know the exact location yet, but yes, they will be traveling from Pretoria to move out to their new hotel before the Centurion test. So no practice today. From tomorrow onwards, we will have the practice sessions at the Super Sport Park, and the Indian team gearing up for the Boxing Day test. So we will get to know what the situation is like, what the team atmosphere is like. In World Cup, it was excellent, but let's see how the atmosphere in the Indian team is right now. It's a historic series. India have a glorious opportunity to win this one. So let's see what the team combination will be like, who replaces Mohammad Shami in the playing 11, and likewise whether there will be Ravichandran Ashwin or not. It remains to be seen. So all eyes on the Indian practice from tomorrow onwards. I will try to give you all the updates from here in Centurion before we move to Cape Town for the New Year's test. But yes, these were the few updates for the morning show for you guys. So hope you enjoyed it.